What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So, Marvel has started their development of Infinity War. They're starting, shooting and all the rest of it, and they've given us a bit of a teaser, kind of build up. Just it's more production stuff, so it's a lot of interviews and things like that. Apparently, I haven't seen it. I'm super excited because Marvel's my thing. Superhero stuff's my thing, and I love it. And I've loved everything the Marvel, guys have done pretty much. So, super excited to see what's gonna happen. A lot of people I've seen on Twitter and that are like, dude, that thing gave me goosebumps. It's like super, it made them super excited to see it. So, fingers crossed. Hopefully, it's good. All right, let's check it out, shall we? In the beginning,
before creation itself, there were 6 singularities.
Oh, Tesseract. Loki's staff.
Forged into infinity stones.
Day 1. Oh, look at that set.
This is our first day. Here we are in Pinewood in Atlanta, and it's
Chris Pratt.
It's actually pretty unbelievable.
Guardians are in here?
Of what
Guardians is
to
in
be
this.
a year of fun-filled lensing.
I remember actually going to see the first Avengers with one of my best mates.
God, he
from
seems
home,
so
and I never
young.
have dreamed that I'd
Tom
ever
Holland
be
seems
in
so
one of these
young,
movies, let alone playing
compared to
Spider-Man.
those other
I feel
two.
like I'm on top of the world because this is just mind-blowing.
Marvel.
What we always try to do at Marvel Studios is we're building the cinematic universe, is look at the big picture, how can things relate across movies and across years. Avengers Infinity War is the culmination of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe as started in May of 2008 with the release of Iron Man 1.
Oh, 08. Oh, that's...
And it really is an unprecedented
doesn't seem so long ago.
culmination
Oh,
of
08.
a series of
Damn.
films interlinked together, which at the time had never been done before. And for us, the important thing is making it all come together. We know they're going to face
They've done
Thanos.
such a good job with it.
Setting that up since
10
Avengers
years
1.
of developing
How do you
this
do
stuff.
that in a way that is unexpected, that pits the Avengers against somebody who is more powerful than anyone they faced, and yet make them completely unprepared to face him? Well, tear them apart, which is why we did Civil War before Infinity War.
As we were conceiving and executing Civil War, the end of that movie was very much a setup for what these movies would be. We always had the sense of that.
It's cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
Tony is not talking to Steve. The Avengers are basically a name with nobody in it. The world is vulnerable.
Tony senses
Iron
this greater
Legion
threat approaching,
Ooh,
and so he is doing
cool.
everything in his power.
Maybe a bigger
to keep
Iron
us
Legion
safe.
this time. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Thanos shows us why he's the biggest, the best, the baddest villain that we've ever had, and
They might get over their bad guy problem with Thanos. If
The
they
most
can't get over it
exciting
with
part
Thanos, there's something
the
wrong.
Incredible roster of well-developed characters, and it's going to create
Well-developed.
a really
That is
combustible,
keyword. Keyword.
exciting, massive-scale adventure.
You know that we're onto something within the studio when we hit upon an idea or we see a piece of concept art and all of us in the room go, this is cool. And in Avengers Infinity War, the Avengers will meet the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh man, the music,
Because of what
all
Marvel
that
is,
with
because
that
of
concept
what
art.
they have done over the last
Goosebumps.
10 years,
Goosebumps.
These next two Avengers films will be an event like no one has ever seen on film before.
So good, so good. Infinity Gauntlet. Avengers Infinity War. Now in production. Oh. That was fantastic. That was so good. It tells you pretty much not much. It tells you that Guardians is going to be in this. And I think we might have known that. I'm not sure. But it confirms it. And that is fantastic to me. That is awesome. It's all about getting you hyped for it. It's all it is. It's a hype machine thing. But it does. They do it perfectly because they break it all down. So they spent 10 years developing this entire universe with all the characters in it, all of it. And, you know, every single thing links into the next. It has, you know, maybe like a movie will start here and a movie start here, and it might take a couple of movies to get there, but they meet up at some point. And so good. It's just so good. And the way they explain it, how they think big picture. This is what DC doesn't do. This is what DC doesn't do. All they see is like, we got to get the Justice League. We got to do this. We got to do. They always looked out wide. They always knew they would get to the Avengers, but they always knew they had to explain them first. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. And DC needs to look at this, because they're ruining kids' like childhood heroes. Like my childhood hero was Superman. They're ruining him. And I would give anything. I would give anything if the guys that are doing this to go and work on DC as well. Just give it to them. Just give it to them. Let them do it. Don't let frickin' Zack Snyder do anything more. He's ruined enough. Just give it to them. Just admit defeat. Give it to Disney. Give it to those guys. Let them do it. Just let them do it. But, that was a great hype teaser. I guess you would call it a hype teaser. Because the way they explained everything, like how Civil War played in a huge part of preparing for this, these two movies, really. You know, the way they fractured the Avengers so that when Thanos does come, they are completely unaware. They're completely not prepared to do anything with these guys. And can you imagine the fight? You know, we saw how epic the fight was with Ultron. Imagine, and like the final fight with Captain America and Iron Man. Imagine all those guys fighting on the one team against one guy. With Guardians. I am so excited. You have no idea. But anyway, sort of breaking down this sort of trailer, like looking back on it. You know, we sort of start off, they sort of show the stones and stuff, and, you know, the Tesseract and all this, Loki's staff, Power Stone, all this. It's super cool to see all those, because now you start piecing it all back together again. You know, because the Tesseract was a long time ago now. Like, that was first Captain America, first Avengers movie. We haven't seen the Tesseract in a while. In a real while. And then obviously, like, the first day of shooting. And they're on this set. And this set, my God, it looks like utter ruin. I don't know if this is a city or something, but whatever it is, they just, something wrecked house here. I'd say Thanos, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a city. Like, this is an actual city that gets wiped out. Would not surprise me. It could be an alien planet. Like, you are dealing with Guardians too, so they could, you know, do some interstellar stuff, you know, be on different planets and things like that. And, you know, and obviously Thor with the bridge and stuff. And then you sort of get this 3-person interview thing with literally like the 3-part, like it's the sort of the start, the middle, and the end of this part of the Marvel Universe thing building up to the Infinity War. You've got Robert Downey Jr., the man, the myth, the legend sort of thing, with Tony Stark, who started all of it. His Iron Man started all of it. You know, if Iron Man didn't work out at the start, like that movie bombed, none of this would have happened. None of it. They might not have even done anymore. You know, if it kept going downhill, we could have had a problem. But Robert Downey Jr.'s he'll always be Tony Stark now. He'll always be, you know, and he fits it so good. You know, you have him as the first part, and then you get Chris Pratt with Guardians, and Guardians was that in the middle, that breath of fresh air, that, you know, because we had been, you know, we'd had all the Avengers guys. We'd seen them a lot. We'd had Avengers, you know, and we were sort of like getting to that point in where we, like, you know, we had, like, I think we were like 3 Iron Man movies, and then 2 from Captain America and 2 from Thor. So it was like, okay, we might need something a little different, guys. We can't do everything, you know, the same. You can't always have all this stuff. And Guardians was that. Guardians was that breath of fresh air that revitalized everyone in that middle part of this building this universe. And it's, I mean, to this day, I think most people would say Guardians is one of their favorite Marvel movies. Probably their favorite. It's probably mine. That and Winter Soldier were my two favorites. So that year was like perfect for me. Then obviously you have Tom Holland, who is literally the newbie. He's the newbie. He's the new guy. He's the beginning of the second part of this universe. You know, this new universe of the Marvel Cinematic Universe thing with Spider-Man. You know, the new kid on the block, the new thing. He's, you know, he was in Civil War obviously for a small part. Now he's getting his own movie. I've liked what I'm seeing out of that movie too. So I like how you can tell how young he is. You know, like how he says like he went to Avengers with his mate. You know, Avengers was 2012. That's 5 years ago. You know, think about like where you were 5 years ago. It's amazing to think it's been that long. You know, and he would never think that he would have been in 5 years. He would be on the set for Infinity War, literally the climax of this first part of like the probably phase 1 and 2 of this thing. I don't know what phase we're in. Maybe we're in phase 3. I don't know. But basically phase 1 and 2 of this cinematic universe that Marvel's created. And, you know, he seems so young compared to these two. But it's great to see. I like his Spider-Man. I do like him being Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man was always the young kid. Especially when he interacted with the Avengers and with Tony and all the rest of it. So it's great to see him that way. It is. You know, we've had the older Spider-Mans. You know, we had the Tobey Maguire who, you know, he was kind of older. You know, even when he was in the high school, he was kind of older. But he was pretty good. I think most people would say he's probably their favorite Spider-Man to date until, you know, Tom Holland really proves himself. And then obviously, you know, you had the Amazing Spider-Man and stuff like that. And that was all right. That was okay. But this is the chance for Marvel to finally have the control over Spider-Man. And I think it'll be a good thing. But anyway, we had this neat little interview at the start with them like the first day and how it'll be a year of developing and all and shooting and stuff. What I'd give to be on that set, man. That'd be so cool. So, you know, he's saying how great it is. And then we get Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige, the sort of like the overlord of all this, you know, sort of the mind of it all, you know, kind of, he's kept an eye on everything. And like, he explains how the big picture, they always looked at the big picture of everything. They didn't look at Iron Man has to be that thing, you know, and we got to get to the Avengers as fast as we can, i.e. DC. They were thinking years ahead. Years, like down the track, what we're gonna do. You know, they never rushed it. They never like we got to get there as fast as we can. I mean, if you think about it, like, oh wait, it took them 4 years to get to Avengers. 4 years. You know, and now, you know, 10 years later, they're finally getting to when Thanos makes his appearance and, you know, pretty much wrecks house in Infinity War. So, you know, the guy just, you know, all these people have this great way of seeing everything and then interconnecting it all and making it work. It's not just having all these characters and having all these movies and everything. By connecting them all up and making them work together has been phenomenal. I mean, you're taking Thor, who's a Norse god, and have all these, like, this Norse god, you know, mythology and everything like that, and you're putting it in with the likes of Iron Man and Captain America, who are more the traditional superhero type things. And you're trying to mesh those sort of worlds together. And then you're bringing in stuff like Doctor Strange and Guardians, so it's like a sci-fi adventure, and then like a very mystical, magic-y, sort of wizardy type thing. And you're meshing that in too. You know, it'd be very difficult to do. Insanely difficult to do. And they do it. And they do it. They had no problem with doing it, really. Like, you know, everyone's got, you know, the bit of problem, you know, there's a few problems here and there and stuff, you know, and that will always happen. But the majority of it is phenomenal. It's great. So yeah, Kevin Feige is, you know, the way he breaks it down and tells us, you know, what's going on. And then, you know, explaining how, you know, Civil War played this huge part in preparing for the arrival of Thanos. I mean, you can just imagine it, like, you know, going, you know, the Avengers are broken up. They're broken. They are literally broken. They're shattered. There isn't really anyone a part of the Avengers anymore. I mean, if you think about it, they've got Tony. They've got Vision. I don't think you can count on Nat anymore, because Nat is, I think she's in the wind because she helped Cap. You do have Spider-Man, but he's still developing. Black Panther, I don't think he's part of the team anymore because he's helping Cap too. So it's so messed up now, and so, you know, broken, that the Avengers, like, there is no defense there anymore. And now Thanos is coming. So good. And then, like, they're sort of describing how Tony is literally trying to be the one-man army, you know, with the Iron Legion. You know, he'll try, I guess he's trying to create just a huge iron wall of suits to try and protect everyone, like he was planning on doing in Age of Ultron. You know, he was trying to create the Iron Legion to really, like, take over from them. So when the Avengers aren't necessary, because the Iron Legion will take care of it. You know, they'll protect, you know, the world, because, and you don't have to worry about lives anymore. You don't have to worry about them dying. So he's obviously going all in on that because he doesn't have the manpower anymore. He's got to create it. And, you know, you know, just the two brothers, the Russo brothers, talking about it and how they explain, like, Civil War and everything's fantastic. So good. And then you get the writers coming in. You got, you know, saying, you know, the world is at risk. The world's unprotected because these guys are broken up. Because, you know, Tony's trying everything. He's trying to protect them. But there is no more. There's no one there. And then they're, like, trying to, and then they say about Thanos, how they're developing Thanos into this amazing character. And how they're, you know, the big bad. And like I said, if they can't make Thanos work and make him a great bad guy, there's something seriously wrong there. Because there's always been the downfall of majority of the villains of Marvel movies. I mean, think about it, the best bad guy we've had is Loki. Loki's it. And I mean, you think back on all the others, like, who else is good? Ultron, maybe. I'd give Ultron. I loved James Spader as Ultron. I think he was fantastic. He had this manic type, like, you could tell the confusion in his head, and I liked that. Loki and Ultron were good. I give them that. But everything else has had a problem. You know, everything else has had every other movie, like, especially the last, like, Civil War, was just a regular guy. He just turned them all on each other. That was it. You know, it wasn't anyone big. So yeah. So if they can't make Ultron work, there's something, not Ultron, Thanos work, then we've got a problem. And then they go on to how all these, getting to use this roster of well-developed characters. And well-developed is the key word. All that work they've put in is now paying off dividends hugely. Hugely. And, you know, anything they do with these characters, we believe because they've put in the work. So, they have free reign to do whatever they want, really, with these characters now. Because they've put in the work. And I wouldn't be surprised, I would not be surprised if in this movie, we actually lose a character. Like, one dies. I would not be surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Iron Man, actually. Would not be surprised. You know, just seeing these guys here is so good. Can't wait to see everyone fighting with Guardians. Damn, man, it's gonna be so good. And yeah, just them just explaining how Guardians are coming into it again. Guardians are the fresh air, bringing in something different and new, and this art with Rocket and Thor. I want that on my wall. I want that on my wall. It is beautiful. I love that scene there. I want a scene where you have like the Hulk with Rocket on his shoulder just shooting up everything. I want that. I want Hulk and like Rocket to be like a thing. That'd be really cool. But yeah, I'm super excited to see Guardians integrated with Avengers. And yeah, then they just go into this badass scene with the amazing music. I love the Avengers music. So like seeing how each stone breaks into a stone and the Infinity Gauntlet. Then the scene, I think, isn't that scene from Civil War? I'm pretty sure. Right at the end of Civil War, where Thanos goes to grab his Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, and then Infinity War, in the gold, and all the gold and everything. Guys, I am super looking forward to this. You have no idea. I am so hyped for this right now. And guarantee the trailers that come out for this are gonna be so good. You know, Marvel knows how to do trailers. They know how to do trailers. Big time. So, super excited. Super excited. Oh. I mean, obviously we got 3 other movies coming this year. We got Guardians 2 coming out, what, in less than, you know, probably a couple months they're out. So, super excited for that. Then you got Spider-Man. And then you got Thor. So, great year for Marvel. And then they're gonna hit it up again next year with Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and Ant-Man. And the Wasp. And then obviously they're going to bring in Captain Marvel after that. I am so excited. Oh yeah. Alright guys, that's it for me. You guys know how I feel about this. I thoroughly enjoyed watching that. It was so good. Make sure you guys subscribe. We got a whole bunch of different reaction stuff too. We got the Guardians Super Bowl trailer. We got, you know, reactions to that too. We've got we do a series of reactions with the CW Arrow series, TV series, and also with the Flash as well. So if you guys are into those, we sort of break down the episode a little bit, you know, sort of look into the lore of things, like from a comic book sense and things like that. So I always love doing them, so go check them out too. That way, you know, you hit subscribe button, you'll know when that stuff goes live. We also got a lot of gaming content. We got a whole bunch of For Honor stuff. We got Pet People. We got all this stuff, man. We got all this stuff. So go check that out. So if you're a big gamer too, make sure you jump on, have a look. Especially with For Honor coming up, I do recommend you check out the Kiwi checks out For Honor. Should I buy For Honor? That's the video name. Make sure you go check them out. Yeah, we just all that sweet stuff up on the channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe. I am a Twitch streamer. We have moved the channel to twitch.tv/AverageKiwiGuy. I was at AverageKiwiGuy07, but I decided to move it to AverageKiwiGuy. We start up the streams again next week with For Honor all week, pretty much. Obviously the open beta and then the launch. So super excited for that. I love that game. I do have issues with it, but it's still a great game. Love it. And yeah, check us out, Average Kiwi Guy on the socials and everything. Now everything is Average Kiwi Guy, so it's easy to find. It's really easy to find. Alright guys, that's it for me. Hope you guys are having a good day, good night, wherever in the world. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.